Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we have another NFL mock draft reaction, or NBA mock draft reaction, excuse me. And it is going to be from The Athletic, who, at least in my opinion, are more known for their draft boards or draft guide, but we get to see their NFL or NBA, keep saying NFL, NBA mock draft. This one by Sam Vecchione, don't really know who that is. Obviously, I am definitely more familiar with Kevin O'Connor, but let's see. 2024 NBA mock draft, Zachary Sachet rises to number one. So the same with Jonathan Givony. And top three players, all from overseas. Sarr, Risachet, and Topic, probably. But on this cover, we have Risachet, Sarr, and Stephon Castle. We'll see how high he goes in this mock draft. At number one, we have to scroll a little bit, but the Pistons take Zachary Risachet. I said it in my last mock draft or NBA mock draft reaction that if the Pistons do end up at one, it'll be an interesting conversation whether they end up going Zachary Risachet, a shooter who could play the 3-2 or the 2-3 or the 4, or possibly come off the bench, or they take a versatile big and Alex Sarr. Obviously, the fit-wise, Zachary Risachet is the better player, but prospect-wise, you probably lean Alex Sarr. Obviously, I do give grades in mock drafts as well. So first up, Zachary Risachet to the Pistons. I'll give it an A-. I think right now he's probably my 1B player, with Alex Sarr being my 1A player. Did I say B-? I think I meant to say A-. I don't know if I said B-, but I mean to say A-. Risachet would be a beautiful fit with the Pistons, also with the Wizards. Yeah, those are just two teams that really need shooting. I mean, with the Magic as well, but there's no way the Magic end up picking number one or number two or number three or number four overall wherever Risachet lands. But overall, Pistons need shooting, and the versatility of Zachary Risachet, I think it's a good pick. I'll give it an A-. At two, I'm going to expect this to be Alex Sarr no matter what team this is. It's going to be the Washington Wizards taking Alex Sarr. Yeah, in the first mock draft that we reacted to, Jonathan Givony's, or the one that I guess you're going to see this 2 days after that video. So 2 days ago, we saw Alex Sarr go to the Pistons, and the Wizards passing on Alex Sarr to go Risachet at one. Overall, made my camera a bit smaller, but overall, I think Alex Sarr is still the better prospect. So getting my number one overall guy, second overall, I'm going to give it an A. You do need big man. Right now, your starting center is Marvin Bagley. So I think it's time to get a future guy in there in Alex Sarr who is extremely versatile. Obviously, defensively, mentioned it so many times, but can guard the perimeter. I mean, one of the best perimeter defenders that's big man that I've ever seen, especially when I'm looking at draft prospects. And overall, he should definitely bring versatility to any NBA team he joins right away. Definitely will be a defensive presence, though. I'm giving it an A+. You got my number one guy with the second overall pick. At three, we have the San Antonio Spurs. This should be Nikola Topic, out of Serbia. I think this is an amazing pick. I'm going to give it an A+. I know that's two A+s in the first three picks, but I think the fit is just so perfect. I mentioned it in the last NBA mock draft reaction. The pick and roll between Topic and Wembanyama will be generational. Not much more I can say about that. Extremely versatile, and hopefully when he ends up developing more as an NBA player, he'll become a little bit better offensively, or at least scoring the ball, because right now that is definitely where he needs to put in most of his work, create more shots for himself off the dribble, but passing the ball, being a lead guard, Nikola Topic has it all. At four, we have the Hornets taking Cody Williams. I like this pick. Cody Williams is probably my 2A, so I guess technically 3. I'll still call him my 2A player because we have Sarr at 1A, Risachet at 1B, have Cody Williams at 2A, and Topic at 2B. I think with the injury to Ron Holland, that kind of takes him away from the 4th overall pick. And the other guy that I could see go out for is Matas Buzelis. So it's probably between Cody Williams and Buzelis, whoever you like better. Personally, me, I'm taking Cody Williams. I like this pick. I'll give it an A. I think it's a great fit next to LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller. So I guess throw them between those two guys, and you kind of have your 1 through 3 for the future. They could look, like I said before, Buzelis gives them more of a versatile forward more than a wing. I know Buzelis does play the wing position, but I definitely view him as more of a, stretch forward who can create in that four position next to Mark Williams. So they do need to fill that spot up because right now their starting power forward is what, Davis Bertans? I mean, they traded PJ Washington, so I don't really know who's there right now. But overall, Cody Williams, brother of Jalen Williams, I think it's a perfect fit to the Hornets. I'm going to give this an A. At 5, we have the Portland Trailblazers taking Stephon Castle. So that is definitely the highest I've seen him in recent weeks. But fit to the Trailblazers, honestly, I like it. I think, to the Blazers, it's either him or Buzelis here at 5. And Castle, I guess, is the better option. I don't really remember the Blazers having the 5th overall pick. Actually, no, I think they do. Or right now, they do have the 5th worst record. The pick used to be easy for me, Ron Holland, but his injury, like I said before, makes it a little bit more difficult. Whether it's Stephon Castle, Matas Buzelis, Reed Sheppard, Jacoby Walter. There are a couple guys that I can see the Blazers take at 5. Castle, though, I like his versatility. Amazing perimeter defender. He has great strength. He's 6'6", 6'7", and can really play the 1 through the 3, if we're being honest. Does need to work on that jump shot, though, so that might scare off some scouts, but I think there's definitely, he definitely has that potential. We've seen some games where shot 2 from 3 from the 3-point line. Overall, he definitely has it in him. 5 to the Blazers, maybe a tad bit too rich for me, but I definitely have Stephon Castle as a top 10 guy right now. I'll give this pick a B+. Probably would rather Matas Buzelis, though, at 5. At 6, we have the Memphis Grizzlies taking Ron Holland. So I'm not sure if this was before or after Holland's injury. But honestly, I still don't mind the pick 6 to the Grizzlies. I think here, probably would look at Ron Holland, Reed Sheppard, or Jacoby Walter. They're just going to bank on Holland's potential. I don't know if he's 6'8". I think he might be more of that 6'6", 6'7" range. So I'm just going to say that. But Ron Holland, if everything goes right for him, if the injury doesn't stop him at all, if he ends up, that jump shot, that 3-point jump shot has to get better. But if he's able to progress into the player we know he can be, I think he can easily be the best player in this draft class. Before the season, that's where he was, at least for me. So to the Grizzlies at 6, forgetting about the injury, I'm going to give this one an A. I like the pick. At 7, we have the San Antonio Spurs taking Matas Buzelis. So for the Raptors, to obtain their pick or retain their pick, I believe it's top 6 protected. Raptors are tanking right now, though. They're 22-35 right now, and really only getting worse. So I do expect them to end up with their pick. But Spurs, whoever made this mock draft, forgot. He has them going at 7, which I guess is fine. Matas Buzelis, I'm cool with this. They are in pretty desperate need of a longer, lankier / taller wing. Right now, just at the wing position, we have Devin Vassell, who's 6'5", 6'4". You have Keldon Johnson, who's 6'4". You have Shetty Osman, who's really not in your long-term future. Same thing with Doug McDermott. But we want to get in a 6'10" wing in Matas Buzelis, who is extremely versatile. Insane potential. Another guy at the beginning of the season who probably could have ended up going first overall. Like I said with Ron Holland, if everything goes right with Matas Buzelis, we could be talking about him as the best player from this draft class. To the Spurs at 7, I'm going to give it another A. I definitely have a couple of A's with the last couple of picks, but I think this one definitely warrants it. At 8, we have the Houston Rockets taking Jacoby Walter. I do like this pick for the Rockets, personally. I think with Sheppard and Walter still being on the board, I think Walter is the right pick over Reed Sheppard. Walter, I think, coming off the bench will bring a team, whether they're contending, whether they're still trying to rebuild. I think for the Rockets, they're kind of in between that area where we want to see them make the play-in tournament probably next year. He'll bring scoring immediately off the bench for them. Jacoby Walter this year started off amazing, then cooled off a little bit, but recently it's gotten a little bit better. 14.5 points, about 5 rebounds per game. Overall, Jacoby Walter, I think he projects into a great bench scorer. I don't really see him as a starting guard. Obviously, for a championship team, if he ends up playing for a championship team, I think a bench scorer is really his best, or a 6-man is really his ceiling, because I think that's where he'll be able to produce the most and give his best talents to the team. 8 to the Rockets. I'll give it a B plus. I like the pick. At 9, we have the OKC Thunder taking Kyle Filipowski. I think this is exactly what Jonathan Givony had in his mock draft as well. Like Gavoni's mock draft, I'm gonna give this a B plus. I don't know why I changed the grade, even though it's the same pick, so I have no reason to change the grade. Thunder do need big depth right now. I'm gonna mention Chet Holmgren first, but Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, Bismack Biyombo. That's really it. And your starting power forward right now is Jalen Williams, who is really a wing, honestly probably a guard. So him at your starting power forward is not ideal, but they've been playing pretty well with it. But getting a longer, lankier guy in Kyle Filipowski who can stretch the floor and has more experience at Duke, I think would help them a lot more at the power forward position. Whether that's starting or coming off the bench, it gives them more height in their front court. I'll give this a B plus. I like the pick. At 10, we have the Atlanta Hawks taking Dalton Knecht. I'm not so sure about this one. Taking Dalton Knecht here at 10, I think that insinuates that you are keeping Trae Young, where I think just with Reed Sheppard being on the board, that kind of has to be the pick. I just think the Reed Sheppard fit next to Trae Young is just like so perfect. Gives him a great role. Gives the Hawks a great role player just to slide into that shooting guard position. Amazing shooter, amazing defender. Whereas Dalton Knecht's probably just more on the shooting side of things. Honestly, I don't really like the pick. I definitely would rather read Sheppard here at 10. Dalton Knecht, I'll give it a B minus. Actually, I'll give it a C plus. I think 10 is, might be a little bit early, but I think range like 10 through 17, I think that is a Dalton Knecht range. So I'm not mad about where he went. It's really just the team that he went to. So just for that, it's getting a C plus. Like if the Magic were here at 10 taking this, I would be fine with it. So C plus for Dalton Knecht to the Hawks. I would rather read Sheppard to them. At 11, we have the Chicago Bulls taking Reed Sheppard. Mentioned it a couple times that I would rather the Bulls, depending where they pick, because I do also think that this team's going to get a bit worse as the season progresses because Zach LaVine out for the year. But I would rather them pick more of a lead guard, a guard who is more scoring or has a scoring mentality, rather than Reed Sheppard, who really projects into a role player for his future. Like if the Bulls end up with like Rob Dillingham, Stephon Castle, Jacoby Walter, I guess just those three guys, I think that would be more of a better fit than what Reed Sheppard would bring. But he's a great player. I think 11 is amazing value for him, or value for the Bulls. Just like Dalton Knecht, the team is just not really where I want to see him. Sheppard to the Bulls at 11. I'll give it a B plus just because it's such a safe pick where it would make no sense for me to give it a lower than a B. But Castle, Dillingham would be my number one guy for them. But Castle, Dillingham, even Ron Hollins, and Jacoby Walter. I guess none of them are available, but I guess best case scenario, if Reed Sheppard ends to you, that's just what happens. I'm giving it a B plus. At 12, we have is this the Thunder again? It is the Thunder again, from the Utah Jazz. He has them taking Tejan Salon out of France. I think they end up trading one of these picks. I'm pretty sure that there's no trades in this mock draft, so it does make sense that he has. Honestly, don't really love the Tejan Salon pick, but it does make sense that he has them keeping the pick if they're going to not do any trades. With the first pick, he had them going Kyle Filipowski, and with the second, he has them going Tejan Salon. I just think there are too many project players on this, that are on this Thunder team where I just don't think they have a way to progress. Ousmane Dieng, Alexis Pokusevski, now Tejan Salon. I know Pokusevski is probably a lost cause at this point, but those are just three guys who I think would just all be fighting for minutes that are just not there. I would definitely rather them take more of a proven guy like maybe Kevin McCullough here at 12, but they decided to take Salon. I'm not hating on Salon. I think he could definitely end up being a lottery pick. I personally have him right outside my lottery. I'll give it a B minus though. There's just better players to take, but no hate on Tejan Salon though. He's a good player. At 13, we have the Blazers taking Johnny Furphy out of Kansas. interesting. That is definitely a first. This is the first time I've seen Johnny Furphy in the lottery. But honestly, I know I've mentioned a lot about how I think Johnny Furphy still has to prove more to be a first round pick, let alone lottery, but to be a first round pick. With the first pick he had the Blazers taking was Ron Holland. Oh no, Stephon Castle. Forgot about the UConn guy. But yeah, with the first pick he had them taking Stephon Castle. Now has him taking Johnny Furphy. Definitely would rather them take center here. You know, right now your centers are looking like DeAndre Ayton, who honestly I don't think is going to be playing for the Blazers next season. Robert Williams, who is barely a center, he's 6'8". Then you have these two rookies that not remembering on the top of my head right now, or I mean I remember Idubaji and Duop Reith, who actually are I don't think they're both rookies. I don't know why I said that, but two young centers who really don't project into future starters. So probably would take Yves Missi here or Khalil Ware. Johnny Furphy's interesting. I like his potential, but I just don't think it's enough yet to um, to have him as a first round guy. I mean, last 10 games, 14 points per game, 7 rebounds does sound good, but I need to see him, I need to see this production deeper into the season. Basically, I don't think he's a lottery guy for sure, but first round guy is definitely more reasonable. Furphy, honestly, I'll give it a C plus. I won't give it too low. I'll give it a C plus. I mean, this probably deserves a lot lower than that, but I'll give it a C plus, just because I see the vision. But make this pick in 3 weeks, and I think I either will agree with you a lot more or I'll hate it even more. But I could see this happen in 3 weeks if everything goes right for Furphy and the Jayhawks. But right now, not so sure about it. At 14, we have the Rob Dillingham slipped to 14. Okay. I didn't even notice Rob Dillingham slipped to 14, so that alone does change some things. Yeah, the Pelicans end up with Rob Dillingham. First of all, it's an A plus. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. Second of all, there's I think no scenario where Rob Dillingham's available at 11 and the Bulls don't take him. Even if Reed Shepard's available as well, I think Rob Dillingham has to be the pick. Even with the Hawks at 10, Rob can be the pick. Yeah, there's just a lot of spots. Rockets at 8. Spurs at no, they already had Topic. There's just spots that Rob Dillingham could have went to. I don't see him falling down to 14. Um, will the Thunder really pass on Rob twice? I don't even know if that happens. Yeah, don't know how I feel about that pick and Rob. I think some team will trade up with the Thunder to snag Rob at 9 or 11 if this is how the draft ends up. But first of all, A plus. Second of all, if the Bulls don't take Rob, that's bad. I'm just gonna say that's bad. But yeah, shifty guard can really get a bucket at will. That's just Rob Dillingham's game. He's been pretty consistent, like surprisingly consistent considering his play style, where he is a score first guard, not really too much to put, or not really any other way to put it. He's been a good playmaker, but we know Rob Dillingham as a give him the ball and he will go looking for a bucket for himself, of course. But it's an A plus for the Pelicans. You got arguably the best point guard in this class at 14. That's a great pick. At 15, we have the Heat taking Isaiah Collier. I think this is also a good pick. The Heat do need point guard. I know they did trade for Terry Rozier, but looking at their point guard depth right now, it's looking like Terry Rozier. If you want to consider Tyler Herro, so be it. Josh Richardson and DeLon Wright. You definitely need another point guard in there, especially a defensive-minded one, because just off the bat, Terry Rozier and Tyler Herro are not the greatest defensive backcourt, but Isaiah Collier does have defensive potential. So him at 15, I like the pick for the Heat. I'll give it an A. Yeah, if he slides to 15, I think the Heat would definitely be one of those teams to go ahead and snag him. Could also see a team trading up, though. Maybe a team who wants point guard. Like maybe the Timberwolves. Would be interesting to see if Isaiah Collier goes to the Timberwolves. That'd be interesting. At 16, we have the Magic taking Kaishan George. I don't know if people are going to say this is a reach, but honestly, I like it. 16, realistically, okay, it's a little bit early. No, actually, it's definitely early. 16's early. But for Kaishan George, I don't know. I like it. Honestly, I like it. Um, Earlier they did pick with their first pick. They ended up going, or no, they did not end up going. My bad. With Don't Connect off the board, okay, maybe Kevin McCullough is the better pick, but Kaishawn George, his potential, I just think is too much for a team to pass on, especially when we get to the end of the first round. I think Kaishawn George right now is a first round guy, and the Magic are known to not pass on big wings who have high potential. Think about last year, Jet Howard. He hasn't been performing great so far, but Kaishawn George, similar build, 6'8" wing. Honestly, I like Kaishawn George a bit more than I did with Jet Howard last year. So overall, George to the Magic, I'll give it a B plus. I'll give it a B plus. People might think that's too high of a grade, but for me, I like his potential. I think he projects into a great NBA player. And Kaishawn George at 16, early, but I like it. Yeah, interesting pick so far. Furphy and Kaishawn George in the top 16. At 17, Toronto Raptors taking Yves Missi. I think this is fine. Missi or Ware, I think they both would be good at 17. Probably to the Raptors, I would rather Yves Missi. So I think that is the right pick. I'm going to give this an A minus. I think this is exactly his range, somewhere between 14 and probably 20. So 17, right in the middle. But Yves Missi, lob threat, has been working on his offensive skill set in terms of facing the basket, back to the basket. Really has been doing a lot this season for the Baylor Bears, and he's one of the big reasons why the Bears are set up as what? I know they just lost to BYU last night, but they're definitely a top 20 team, and if all things go right, could end up making a deep March run as well. Yves Missi to the Raptors at 17. I'm giving it an A minus. At 18, we have the Knicks taking Donovan Clingan. Yeah, I think this is a great pick. Right now, Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein are your two big men. First of all, if Clingan falls to 18, I think probably automatically should get at least an A. But when you also think about it for the Knicks, Mitchell Robinson, season-ending injury. We don't know if the Knicks are planning to pay him too big this summer. Anyone or could possibly move him as well because Hartenstein has shown a lot of flashes as a starting center. And Hartenstein, he's just been solid. So getting another big man in there, Donovan Clingan. Maybe we plan to move on from Mitchell Robinson. Overall, Clingan, I think 18. You know what? Honestly, it's not too much of a fall. It's not too much of a fall. I could see him go as high as I think what was it, 9? Yeah, 9 to the Thunder. Who could use another big man to put next to Chet Holmgren. But I could also see him fall. Fall to 18. That's not too out of the ordinary. I do see Jerry McCain going to the Hawks at 19. Talk about that a little later. But Clingan, 18 to the Knicks. Honestly, I like it. It's gonna be an A for me. It's a great snag for the Knicks, especially when we don't know their center rotation next year. At 19, like I said before, Hawks taking Jared McCain. Sure. I mean, wow. Definitely the highest I've seen McCain yet. Last time, or in the last mock draft, I think he did go 20, so one spot over. But I think McCain right now, it's a top 20 guy for sure. To the Hawks at 19, earlier had them go Don't Connect. It's weird. I mean, something's weird going on. I did see. If I want to scroll up a little bit, I thought I saw something talk about. Um, I guess I did not see that. Let me check. Okay, so I did see something about Clint Capella had the control fine right there, but it actually was not about the Hawks. I think if the Hawks don't pick a backup center in this draft class or in this draft, or another center, I think there is something wrong because they need it. I think you do move on from Capella this offseason and you slide Aneka Okongwu or maybe even one of these centers you draft into the starting lineup. Whoever obviously performs better in camp and stuff. But don't hate McCain. Don't think the Hawks is a great fit, especially you just picked Don't Connect. So this is weird. I'll give it a B. I think Khalil Ware here at 19 will be so much better, but I'm not gonna hate. It's gonna get a B from me. At 20, we have the Suns taking Ryan Dunn. I think Kevin O'Connor did this as well. Yes, it's a winning player. He's going to make winning plays. Great defender. Um, Great slasher. He's really aggressive on both sides of the ball. He's a winning type of player, and he's going to a team who wants to win in the Phoenix Suns. It's getting an A from me. Overall, he is a complete basketball player in Ryan Dunn. Just need to get that jump shot down. At 21, we have him playing defense, but we have the Pelicans taking Jalen Tyson. Kel'el Ware still on the board. Um, okay, interesting. Don't have Jalen Tyson as a first round guy for me. By the way, I'm probably gonna give this a C. Kel'el Ware being on the board, I think it's just so much the easier pick, but it's weird. Definitely weird. Yeah, probably not gonna spend too much time on this. The Pelicans are in need of another center. Cody Zeller should not have an NBA contract. Larry Nance is more of a four, and Jonas Valanciunas is getting up there. So getting another lob threat in there, and Kel'el Ware, someone similar to Jackson Hayes, but definitely has more of an expanded game, I think would benefit the Pelicans the most. But they take Jalen Tyson. I just don't like it. It's getting a C. I know Tyson has had a great year at Cal, so far. He's averaging 20 points in 7 minutes. I mean, that's amazing. But, 21 years old, don't really think he projects into an amazing NBA prospect. I mean, this guy I think he does, looks like a real NBA prospect, but for me, I don't really see it. I think Lower is easily the better pick at 21. At 22, Devin Carter to the Sixers. I've seen Devin Carter go in the first round. I think this is like the third straight time. I don't like it. I don't think Devin Carter is a first round NBA player. I think he's a second round guy. Don't get me wrong. He's having a great season at Providence. But if you think about it, this year Providence lost their best player in Bryce Hopkins. I'm saying that he's their best player. And Devin Carter's had to step up in his absence. But, you know, honestly, I don't really see it. Good defender, good rebounder. Jump shot, I mean, I guess it's could be there. He's shown it sometimes, but translatable to the NBA, not so much. DJ Wagner still here. AJ Mitchell here. Hate to say it, but Tyrese Proctor here. Adama Ball, Bub Carrington. There are a lot of point guards I would take for the Sixers over Devin Carter. And Kel'el Ware. I mean, they could use backup center. I know they have B-ball Paul Reed there, but I think he's probably a little bit more of a power forward. So, Kel'el Ware, Carrington, probably would take Adama Ball over Devin Carter as well. AJ Mitchell, DJ Wagner, all available here at 22. I'd take all of them over Devin Carter. This is getting a C. At 23, we have the Knicks taking Tyler Kolek. Jeez, we are making some interesting picks in this class. I mean, yeah, he's probably having a first team or first team All American type of season. He's been one of, if not the best point guard. At RJ Davis, kind of forgot about him. He's probably still end up being first team All American right now, but got dismantled by UConn. Just picked him apart on the defensive side of the ball. So there's that. But who knows? He could end up being a good NBA player. Yo, what's good, guys? Oh, I just deleted some footage. But yeah, little intermission here. Microphone had to cut out. Obviously, you can see I'm editing with these chunky headphones, so that'll tell you all you really need to know. But audio cut out at 23 after the Tyler Kolek pick. So I guess if you want to keep watching the video, you can. Just it cuts in and out, and it definitely gets annoying. But yeah, I guess you can react to my facial expressions or watch them. As you can see, either I'm happy or sad with these upcoming picks. Yeah, Tyler Smith going at 27 though. That's interesting. Just gonna say that for right there. Make sure to like and subscribe. Go into the description and click the link to submit your video ideas. But yeah, sorry for the audio cut. Hopefully you keep watching the video just to, see my reactions, and audio will come back sometimes, but just warning you guys now. Um, assists. Sorry, that was a little interesting, but since January, 9 assists, and has proven that he's able to. And overall, yes, an NBA player, but oh god, Bucks taking Bobby Clinton. Sure, it was interesting. 7 foot what? 7'4" wingspan. Just have the Nuggets taking Deron Holmes, a backup big. Sure. Don't mind. And right now, Zeke Naji has not proved that he can be that guy. Um, they could put here at 25. Ethan Almanza as well. There are a lot of guys they could take at 25. Is Deron Holmes the right pick? He's the right pick. But I'll give it at 26. We have the OKC Thunder again taking over Conche. I don't know. I don't think he's a first round guy. I also don't know if he goes right see, but you're not picking the player in Kel'el Ware. You have the Jazz taking Tyler Smith. If he falls to 27, some 20 player for sure. This is getting the next mock draft I do. I'm not sure. Honestly, it's an amazing value pick. 20 floor. He can bang down low. And overall span, you know, offensive bigs we have in the league. Not his career, but when he progressed. I've taken Hunter Salas. Season out Wake Forest. Saga. But just he's plus. I'm not gonna be as nice. Getting a C plus to me. If we are taking point guard, I still would rather AJ Mitchell. I think that has to be the pick at 28. But they're done. You know, they could have taken Devin Carter here. We have the okay, so we're going a little bit of a guard run here. Obviously, before we did Carter, Trey Alexander, and Hunter Salas go with all within the last four. Or, but honestly, I like Trey Alexander. He's had a great season here at or with Creighton. He's actually been playing a lot better recently, in my opinion. But overall, or not at all, or don't know if he's a first round guy either. I think that's a better way to put it. These Big East guards, I think, will end up being good right now. It's Devin Carter, Trey Alexander, Tyler Kolek. Those are the guys I'm talking about. But overall, not a bad pick. I think AJ Mitchell ending up with the Timberwolves would be an amazing fit. I'll give it a B minus. Pick we have the Celtics taking Zach Edey. And Zach Edey all being on the same team. 1 foot one, that would be a nightmare. That'd be crazy, huh? Three players on the same team over 7 foot one. Zach Edey. You love him or you hate him as an NBA prospect. Um, take him at 13. I'll give it a B. I just don't see him as a first round guy, but I see him being early second round. And overall, to the Celtics, a team who can use bench. But overall, E to the Celtics, it's getting a B. The mock draft, he does have the second round here. Wagner at 32 being a steal, by the way. Being at 35 is an absolute steal. Sam Mitchell going 42 round. I don't know about that one. Obviously, a great college player, but he definitely does not um, tell you that from firsthand experience. I've watched him play in person. Adem Bona, Pele Larson, Adama Ball, Edwards. I think he stays at Kentucky. Um, Guys he let slip out of the first round: DJ Wagner, AJ Mitchell, Kevin McCullough, Khalil Ware, just guys I mentioned that for me are all first round guys. So yeah, that's the mock draft. Five, that was interesting. And overall, thanks for watching this video. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Go into the description, click the link, and submit your video ideas. Because unless it's stupid, I'll be doing it. And see you next time. Peace.